very special guests, recurring guests, some new faces. This is the Johnston Boys Basketball Team. We are joined by 5 members and Coach Mike. Mike, so how are you guys doing today?
Doing good.
Doing good. Good. All right. Why don't we have you guys introduce yourselves? So we'll start down at the end.
I'm Ryan. I'm a senior. I'm CJ. I'm also a senior.
Mike Bedrosian, head coach of the Panthers.
I'm Anthony. I'm a junior.
I'm Derek. I'm a junior.
I'm Hunter. I'm a senior.
Guys, welcome to the show. Very excited. I had Hunter on the show last year, and Coach Mike, I had you on the show last year as well too. And then you guys, new faces. But I want to start with my first question. What's it like for you guys to actually feel to have like a regular full season? Maybe Coach Mike, you can start us off on that one.
Well, last night we kind of had our home opener. We had a non-league game versus Blackstone Valley, and these guys did their job getting the word out. Our motto was kind of pack the gym, and take advantage of it while we can, just in case things happen later down the road. That was kind of what we told the guys in pregame as well. Just take it all in, enjoy the moment, even though non-league game, but just enjoy it while you have it, especially those seniors. Just enjoy every moment that you can with having friends and family and things like that. So the student section last night was a good thing to see, because these guys did their job in school and getting the word out, and we had a great atmosphere last night. So it was definitely good to see. Last year kind of looked like a practice, almost like scrimmages. So it gets these guys motivated as well. It's tough to get motivated with no fans.
Yeah.
So last night these guys definitely saw it for sure.
That's awesome, man. What about yourself, Ryan, being down there?
I'm just thankful that 1, we get to have a full season where we play like more than 10 games, and 2, that we have fans, especially as a senior. It's a good thing to have, and hopefully end the season off on the right note. Everybody gets to stay in the gym. We get to have the fans for the end of the season, and I'm just happy my senior year is coming back to normal.
That's awesome. That's great. And then what do you guys feel like, and maybe Hunter, you can lead off with this one, but what do you guys feel like being able to walk into a gym and just be able to see fans and your family and your friends to be in the stands to cheer you on? What's that feeling like for you?
It's really good, especially from last year. We had no fans. It was so awkward, like walking in, no fans, no energy in the gym. So it was really good yesterday. We had a lot of energy, and it was good seeing a lot of fans. Like, we had a packed house. So.
That's great. And then how about yourself, Anthony? How does that feel?
It was pretty good, because I haven't seen a packed gym in so long.
Yeah.
So it was just a good feeling, and just being able to see everyone, knowing that you have support behind you. So
that's great. And then what about yourself, CJ?
I really don't think people realize how much people being there, energy, fans, brings a lot of different aspects of the game. It really gives you a big advantage. Home field advantage, home court advantage, is a big thing to have, definitely.
That's great. And then Derek?
I think being with the fans being there, it just changes the whole atmosphere of the game. It brings us all energy and just changes everything. Especially defense, everyone's loud, everything, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, fans make a huge difference. Compared to last year too, you guys, I'm sure, what was it like for you guys on the bench to help bring that energy? Because I'm sure that has to bring some energy, right? To you have to do something, make some noise, help, there's a big steal. What was that like for you guys last year? Maybe you can start with us there.
I think the bench, it's still extremely important, but last year it was even more important because there was no fans to bring that noise or energy. But this year, we still got to make sure the bench is up, ready, and to cheer on our teammates.
Yeah, and then Coach, what about yourself?
A lot of the returning guys will tell you, we emphasized that last year, that the energy has to come from the bench. Otherwise, it's not going to come. There's nowhere else, no outlet to get it from. So, the bench, we had a lot of guys last year who were just role players, but at the same time, their role was to keep everybody up. We go on a little bit of run, we expect them coming right out off the bench and high-fiving or doing whatever we have to do to get us motivated, because it wasn't easy. It definitely wasn't easy.
Yeah, it's going to be tough because you walk into an empty gym, a lot of energy comes from the fans. So what's it like too now? You guys have to make the adjustment, I'm sure, for some of you guys, the noise adjustment. What's the noise adjustment to make sure you can pay attention to your coaches and hear what's going on top? Because I'm sure the fans are excited to be back in the gym. Why don't you start us off, CJ?
Yeah, well, it's a little difficult to hear the play calls with the masks, and on top of that, the fans getting loud. So it's definitely a little bit of a challenge, but we do our best to hear the plays and stuff like that. But it's definitely good to hear the noise.
How about Anthony?
Well, It was like, I couldn't really hear much at first because it was so loud, and it was like, and then with masks on, you can't even see like I remember like they were calling plays coming on the court, and I was like, what? But it's just like we have to adjust, and I think that's a big thing to focus on in practice. Like we need to know what's going on and be able to communicate with masks. So now we know what we have to do, keep the mask up in practice and all that. So.
Yeah, that's great. And then, Coach, what are you doing to help make those adjustments for them to hear everything? And
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely getting back into the groove as coaches as well. So
Yeah.
we're getting back into it just as much as the players are. Last night I like felt myself calling out an offense, and I'm like, there's no way they can hear me, and I kind of like sneak it down a little bit. But
Yeah.
it's tough. It's not easy. So like I said, that's an adjustment that maybe we have to make in practice. Maybe instead of yelling things out, we do signals for each thing. So that's just one thing that, that myself and Coach Mark and Kyle and Coach Valeria kind of, that those are things that we have to talk about as a group, and that's our job to try to make adjustments and make things work for us.
Now, is it legal to bring in like a loudspeaker maybe?
Yeah, I wish. I'm pretty loud, but it's not easy, especially like I said, with fans with masks, it's not easy. So we gotta just make adjustments.
Yeah.
You know.
And then what's the excitement to just have a full regular game? And Ryan, you kind of touched upon this earlier, but like have a full regular 20-game season to get back to, you're not playing 10, 12 games, you're back to 20-game season. What's that adjustment like, and what's it feel like to be able to have that? Ryan, why don't you start?
I'd say one big adjustment we have to make is we have to make sure our bodies stay healthy throughout the season. We can't let ourselves get worn down halfway through the season, because last year we played half the season basically, so we need to make sure that we're able to go through the full season, keep our bodies healthy. But once again, just thankful that we're able to play all those games because we didn't get that last year.
That's great. And then Derek, what about?
Last year it was tough because if we lost one game, we knew that was going to be like a big game changer. And this year we have so many more games that, there's going to be other ones that we can win, come back, and we'll probably see that team in the playoffs.
Yeah. And then Hunter, what about yourself?
So as a senior, it's gonna be really good having like a full season, 20 games. Because I know last year it was tough for Thomas and Justin to have only like 10 games, 9 games, and it's gonna be an adjustment with the masks again because we don't have to wear them. It was kind of tough. There's a lot more games, but we're gonna get used to wearing the mask again.
Yeah. And now, too, you bring up Thomas and Justin. What's it like, too, having an adjustment, not having those guys with you this year? I mean, I know they're a crucial part of the team and their leadership. So what's it like not having those guys for you guys? Hunter, why don't you start?
So it's definitely an adjustment because Thomas, we had a 6'5", big man, he spread everything out. But we have a lot more guards this year. We're skilled too, so it's not too much of an adjustment. But like when we play bigger teams, it's gonna be kind of tough.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to all rebound and box out and stuff.
And then Derek.
Also, like leadership-wise, Justin and Thomas, they're both good leaders. So we know that this year, all 5 of us, we all have to step up and be leaders on the team and help the underclassmen adjust to the varsity level.
Yeah. And then CJ.
Yeah, definitely. Thomas and Justin both big losses. Thomas being one of the best players in the state last year, Justin being one of the best leaders on the team. They both brought big things to the table for this team, but I know us 5 right here, this table, you can all bring that same type of, aspect to the team that they did.
Yeah. That's great. And shout out Cannon, who's on camera right now. We'll get him in the picture. But and then as well for you guys to play a full schedule in Division II, what's it like to see teams that you didn't see last year in that the weird COVID era, and then you moved up to Division last year too. So what's it like to play in Division II and actually play the full schedule in Division II, Coach?
Well, I mean, like you said, playing in different teams. Like we were limited to only half of the side of D2, but we got ranked from the coaches poll second in D2. But like I told these guys, that's nice that we're getting some respect. But at the same time, it's not going to be that easy. We don't have to tell them how difficult and how great the competition is in Division II. These guys all know, and if we don't bring it every game, every game's going to be a fight, and they know that. There's not going to be any easy games this year. There's a lot of teams that are well coached, a lot of talent. So, as long as we do our job as coaches, getting these guys prepared and putting everything that we need to do in game plan, and like I told these guys, as long as everyone plays in their role, we will be there right at the end. We're deep this year. We have a nice sophomore class, which is great. And they're gonna, like last night, for instance, we kind of were a little stagnant on offense, like first quarter and a half. put some of those younger guys in the game, and they gave us a nice little spark, and that's when it went to double digits. So as long as everybody buys into their role, like I said, we're going to be right there at the end. And these guys know we were successful last year in D2. I think we went like 7-3. We made it to the second round of the playoffs. So no, they're bought in. They're ready to go. And you know, every game is not going to be easy, and they know that. We don't have to tell them. Every game's going to be a fight. So
That's great. And then Anthony, about the Division II.
I think like we just have to make sure that we don't take it light on any team. Like we need to go out knowing what we have, not worrying about the other team, because any team can win on any given night. It's like it's all up in the air. So we just need to give everything we have, all that. So
Yeah. And then Ryan, what about your thoughts on that?
D2 is a very competitive division. There's a lot of teams that do a lot of different things, so you have to be prepared for teams that are going to go like smaller, they're going to run. We have to prepare for teams that are bigger, that we have to kind of, box out, get rebounds. But I think knowing that every game can be a close game motivates us in practice to not take any days off. And I think that's going to be a good thing for our team because I think we'll be prepared for everybody.
That's great. I can't keep getting through my head that I feel like we're in like a press conference so much. I might look for the backdrop and everything like that. For you guys two being in Division II and last year playing in Division II in the COVID year, did any of you guys have to make an adjustment to the speed or playing against those different teams that you haven't seen before? I know Lincoln was a team that you've seen before, but like what about other teams that like the adjustment to the speed? And we'll start with you, CJ.
No, not really any adjustments. We had a lot of talent last year. We were ready. The year before, we made it to the state championship, blew out a lot of teams. So moving up really wasn't a big deal for us. We were ready for that speed and everything.
Yeah, and then Derek.
I would say the speed might have changed a little bit, but another thing that changes is like your role on the team. So like freshman year, my role was different than sophomore year, which is going to be different than what I have this year. So it just changes every year as the team changes.
Yeah, and then Hunter.
So like CJ said, the adjustment wasn't too different from D3 to D2. So there wasn't really like a big change in that. Just probably a little bit bigger teams overall, but it wasn't a big change.
And then now, Derek, you brought up a good point about roles. Every you guys' roles have changed over the years, and then especially for you seniors, what's it like for you guys to step up in those leadership roles? And we'll start with you, Hunter.
So I know I had a big role this year because I'm a 4-year varsity player and a senior. So my role hasn't changed too much because I was a leader when I was even underclassman. But this year I'm gonna have to be like more vocal on the court and a big leader on the team.
And then how about yourself, there?
Yeah, kind of the same thing. I mean, even though I'm a junior, I still see myself as a leader on the team, just like helping the underclassmen adjust to playing up and helping them fit into the group as a whole, like a brotherhood, like Coach Mike says.
Yeah. And then Andrew.
well, like stepping in from a different school, like I know that I have to kind of take responsibility to be a leader, especially as a junior. Make sure everyone's like on the same page. That's the biggest thing. I feel like our whole team has to be on the same page from 1 to 15. So, and if it's not like that, then that's as far as we can go. Is the last guy in line. So, we just need to.
CJ.
Yeah, well, obviously, got to be a leader for the underclassmen. I mean, Hunter and Derek can attest to it. It's like really hard playing varsity as an underclassman. I think that they need to understand and appreciate that. So I'll kind of keep them in check, not be like immature about it, and kind of like understand the role they're playing.
That's great. And then Ryan.
I'm taking on a really different role this year with the loss of Thomas and Justin. We lost like 2 of our really good big men. So I think being able to play down low with these bigger guys in the division is a big deal, and also being a leader for the bigs that we have, because last year we only had a 6-7 man rotation, so we didn't get a lot of bigs in there. And I think if we're able to have those bigs be able to come on the floor and play with these bigger guys in the division, it's going to really help us out because we have amazing talent with the guards. So I think if we just bring this group together and mesh well with the bigs, the guards, and different lineups, mixing them together, it's going to be great. So I think just helping everybody out.
That's awesome. And then, Coach, for yourself to see these young men have all grown up in front of your eyes and watch them play.
Definitely.
What's it like to just see where they are today
Yeah,
and the leaders that they are today as well?
Especially, this 5 right here. I've been working with these guys since they were in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. When I worked at the recreation department full time. back in like 2014-ish, and these were the guys that I ran the programs for. And especially Anthony and Derek, I took them on as 5th graders, coached them in travel, and obviously Hunter, Ryan, and CJ. Once they got to high school, I worked with them a little bit more, but I was always a big part of their lives. They're always a big part of mine, and that's why I want it even more for this crew. I really do, and especially even the sophomores that we have. I coached them at Ferry Middle School. I know Cam, one of them, he was at Ferry's 8th grade year. So, especially me coming in, and coaching them, it's not really a big, huge change. I've always been around. So, and like I said, I want it even more for this group of guys because I've been around their lives for so long. Like I said, they've been just as big as a part of my life as I've been a part of theirs. So that's why, I really want it even more, and I love these guys, and I am very confident that we're going to be there at the end. So.
That's awesome. And it's great. It's great to see you guys all be here, and that's great. They have such a great coach that has worked with you over the years and watched you guys grow up and see what the great young men that you all become over here as well too. Quick thing, I want to get Cam in here because I want to ask him a question. So Cam, he made the trip, so he's got to get in on the show as well too. I'm going to go off camera here as well. So Cam, I want to ask you, what's it like having these guys as teammates?
Oh, it's great. It's great. They're like big brothers to me. They're great leaders. They walk me through everything. Like if I don't know anything, they'll be there to help me. But yeah, they're always there no matter what.
That's awesome. That's great. And now, guys, this has been awesome to have you on the show and to have this conversation with you guys. It's crazy to see everyone in person compared to last year we were on Zoom, and to see you guys be able to become the players that you are and you can prepare for the upcoming season as well, Division II and the non-league games and the full games. But I want to also just ask some questions that are just more outside of the basketball world. I want to get the listeners to know you guys and what you like to do and things outside of basketball you like, favorite NBA team, favorite players. So Hunter, we'll start with you. Do you have a favorite basketball team or a favorite player?
So in the NBA, I don't have a favorite team, but on the court stuff, I like Kyrie. Off the court stuff, I don't know what he does, but on the court, I like him. But on the court, he's a good player, really good, and he's a point guard, a guard like me, so I try to look at my game like that.
Nice. And then myself, Derek.
Honestly, I don't really have a favorite player, but I watch the Celtics. I follow them. I watch all NBA, college, watch how they play. I like watching college more because it's more like similar to how we play, and we can see base it off them.
Nice. And Anthony.
My favorite college team is Duke, but I like watching PC play, of course. And my favorite NBA player to watch would be Trae Young because the way he plays is just smooth. He's just good.
Yeah. How about yourself, CJ?
Definitely favorite team is going to be the Celtics, obviously New England. And my favorite player, not going to be a current guy, it's going to be Reggie Miller. Now, I really like Reggie Miller, the way he plays, great shooter. Obviously going like this to Spike Lee.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that to you because I'm a Knicks fan. So.
Yeah, that's definitely
How about yourself,
Definitely favorite NBA team, the Celtics. Growing up watching them on TV, going to games when I was a kid. Like CJ said, not current favorite NBA player. I'd have to say Bill Laimbeer because I like and not being afraid of anybody. I mean, I like to think that's how I play. There's a big guy, I like to get on him, make sure they know that they can't just bully people down low.
I like that. Coach, what about yourself?
Like I said, I'm a Knicks fan, unfortunately. Coach had brainwashed me. But I got to say my favorite player growing up was Allen Houston. That was my favorite Knicks player growing up. And, just trying to resemble his game a little bit when I was a kid. And I never, I was just always following him. Those Knicks teams, Latrell Sprewell, those guys, I watch those guys all the time. So those are the Knicks that I grew up watching. Allen Houston's probably my all-time favorite Knicks player.
Yeah. Did you know his son plays at Brown?
Yes, I did know that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just have one other thing to say. Michael Jordan's the GOAT.
Thank you. I'll take that. I'm liking the old school players that I'm hearing now over here. And then Cam, what about yourself, Cam?
I've always been a Thunder fan, but they're kind of bad now. My favorite player though is definitely LeBron. He's all around, does everything. I think he's better than Jordan.
Oh man, the mate. Yeah, I think OKC is a layover for
Yeah.
the players. They get traded there and then they end up get traded somewhere else. But and then sorry to hear that LeBron's your favorite, but I'm a Jordan guy. But LeBron is a great player. Now, what about you guys have a favorite food or a place to eat or anything like that? Why don't we start down there, Brian? Why don't you go?
Alright, my favorite thing to eat is a Chipotle burrito. I'm not gonna lie, probably like at least twice a week, but I work it off in practice, so it's okay.
Definitely my favorite thing to eat is steak. It's just basic, it's simple. You can't mess it up. Have it at least like once or twice a week. Mom cooks it.
And then Anthony.
So ever since I went to the high school, Brewed Awakenings has been the go-to.
Yeah.
It's right across the street. Got to get a croissant. It's so good.
Don't be afraid to shout out, your mom's home cooking.
So my favorite food to eat at home is probably steaks on the grill or any dish my mom makes. Or when I go out, I always have to get a Baja's quesadilla. Love that.
So my favorite food is probably burgers, like cheeseburgers. Yeah.
Is there a place that you like to get them, like Five Guys, or is there?
I can't really have Five Guys because I'm allergic to like nuts and stuff. But yeah, so.
That's the last place you want to
Just like Five Guys burgers. I can't remember.
And mine's definitely burgers too. The past 2 times I went out with the team, I got a burger.
And then my last question for everyone is, favorite thing to do outside of a basketball camp? Why don't you start?
Focus on my schoolwork, make sure I'm always working out, getting ready. But yeah, that's about it.
What about yourself, Hunter?
Hanging out with friends, especially these guys. I like to just build chemistry off the court and on the court. So.
Yeah, I would say just always being in the gym, working out. And yeah, same thing, just bonding with your teammates, your friends, just have a good time because your high school career, it only happens once and you got to make the most of it.
Like just being in the gym as much as you can, and especially when you're with your friends, like you can go to the gym and then hang out after. So that's good for team chemistry.
CJ?
Yeah, definitely working in the gym a lot. Taking a lot of shots. Hanging out with friends definitely. Almost every day we gotta be doing that.
Brian?
I like definitely like hanging out with friends and everybody because after COVID hit and it's my senior year, it really hit me like you gotta make the most of what you do. So outside of basketball, hanging out with the guys, just like messing around, doing simple things like that, really just love it.
And Coach?
Yeah, I'm just feeding off these guys what they're saying, and I always tell them, enjoy every moment of high school because it does fly by. I've been out of high school like 11 years already. It's crazy to even think that. So, and all of my best memories are from high school. We still talk about things today with my friends, like, oh, remember our junior year, we did this, like, just take advantage of every moment, and, that's where memories are made right now, like when you guys are here in the next 4 years, or, this year, or next 2 years, or 3 years, and the freshmen for 4 years, we tell those guys that, but just take advantage of every moment, where your memories are made down the road, like, I'm 29, but right now, these next 4 years are where your memories are made, and just keep bonding and keep building relationships, and you guys are going to be brothers for the rest of your lives. So
It's very true, yeah. It does fly by. You're absolutely right. It flies by so quickly.
yeah,
High school does, and then college, everything. Life comes at you fast, to enjoy it as much as possible, and Coach is right. So, guys, it's been a lot of fun to have you on the show. Great as always, a great conversation, and great to meet you all in person. I know I'm off camera right now, but it's great to meet everyone in person. And shout out to Anthony's parents for having us here, and I'm sorry, what's the name?
Hartford Paving,
Hartford Paving.
Outdoor Escapes.
Outdoor Escapes. Shout out for them letting us do the interview here. It's a lot of fun, and appreciate it too. Last question: do you guys have anything for me? Questions, comments, statements, anything?
Just thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, just say thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course. Anytime. This is great. We'll have to do it again. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Bye.